Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank each and every one of you for your time today and welcome you to today's featured presentation. Today, we're going to be doing a virtual information session discussing Albany, New York opportunities with Fidelity Investments. I'm David Testerman, and I'm a managing partner with Broker Hunter, and I'll be the host for today's webinar. Before we get started and actually introduce our first speaker today, I would like to go ahead and introduce Kat with Zoom, and she's going to walk through how to ask questions via the Q&A pane and any other housekeeping items as well. Kat, go ahead, please.
Thank you, everyone, for joining into today's session. As an attendee, you have joined in with your microphone muted and your camera turned off. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them into the Q&A box located in the bar at the bottom of the Zoom viewer. If you have any technical questions, please feel free to put those in there as well, and I'd be happy to assist. Back to you, David.
All right, great. Thanks so much, Kat. And again, if anybody has any questions, just be sure to chat us with those. Before we get started and I introduce our first speaker, I'm going to go ahead and launch a quick poll of the audience today. And let me go ahead and launch this real quick. And there's a few questions here. And again, we're going to be talking about opportunities in the Albany, New York market, but a lot of the information today is going to apply to anywhere Fidelity has a footprint. But if you can go ahead and answer these questions for us real quick, that would be great. And I'm going to leave this open here for a few minutes because we're having some people join us right now. And I am going to go ahead while I leave the poll open and introduce our first speaker today, Miss Mary Bigelow with Fidelity Investments. Mary, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you, David, and thank you, Kat. Welcome, everyone. I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. I am Mary Bigelow. I'm the local branch office manager here in the Albany, New York office, which is on Wolf Road. I wanted to take a few minutes and just thank the people that are here joining us. I also have Dominic Calamati, who is our local market leader, as well as our valued partners from staffing, which is Stephanie Edson and Callie Cody. Without all of their help and David and Kat, we would not be able to do this today. So thank you very much for all of your support. And we just really appreciate that you've taken time out of your lives to join us and to learn a little bit about Fidelity Investments. So what we're going to do today, and I'll take you through the agenda in just a moment, is really spend this time and focus on giving you some insights about who Fidelity is, what we're founded on, what's important to us, but also I'm a little biased but also why this is one of the best place for our clients and recognize one of the best places and employers of choice for potentially people like you for being able to build a successful career in the long run. So Callie, if you wouldn't mind just going over to the agenda, I'll walk through that really quickly. And what we're going to talk about today is kind of who we are as a firm and what we do. And I'll share a little bit of color about myself and my journey and open it up to Dominic to do the same. Then give you some insights around just what does the career look like here in the investor centers or in the branch, our benefits and why that's an unmatched opportunity here at Fidelity, why Fidelity overall, and then just open it up for some question and answers. That this is really an opportunity for us to share with you kind of who we are and what we're all about, and to really hear from you any questions that are on your mind. So that's what we'll cover today. So Callie, if you turn it over to the next slide for me. Where I'm going to start is take a step back and really think about and share with you guys who is Fidelity as a firm. I'll also share with you kind of who I am and about my journey. And start with kind of something basic for those that are from the Albany area, is that who is Fidelity? Well, we're not Fidelis Healthcare. It's one of the things that I get often is really understanding who we are as a firm. And what's great, and what I will dive into and spend a few minutes on today, is that there's 5 really distinct areas that distinguish Fidelity as a unique and right place for our clients, as well as potentially for you. So I'm going to dive into those as we go forward today. Those 5 areas are: 1, that we're privately held for over 70 years. We have a differentiated business model. 3 is that we lead in innovation. We're relentlessly focused on our clients. They are at the center of what we do. But most importantly, our greatest asset is our people. So I'm going to take a few minutes and give you a little bit of color into each one of these things from my point of view. Why I've been here at Fidelity for about 20 years, but I want to give you the context of Fidelity first, because I think that really sets the stage. So first, what does being privately held mean? Why is that important? Well, when you think about it, Fidelity's been around since the 1940s. It's been held by a private family, the Johnsons, for 3 generations. Well, what does that matter? What that does is it allows us as a firm to invest back in our business. What does that mean? Well, that allows us to spend the time and the money to broaden our product set, our solutions, but most importantly, the experience for our clients. Be able to innovate and grow and really be nimble for the long term. We're not worried about the short term. We're a privately held firm. We can really put the money back into our products and services and continue to make them better. Listen to our clients, listen to our employees, and really be able to grow because we're set as a privately held firm. Second is around our differentiated business model. What does that mean from a business model standpoint? What we term that as, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a few minutes, is our kind of Fidelity Advantage. It really talks about how we're aligned as a firm because we are a global firm. So in a few minutes, I'll tell you a little bit more about it because there's a lot that allows us as a very large firm to be able to play and create things at scale for our clients, but really make them meaningful for you or potentially you as advisors or employees, but most importantly, as an advantage for our clients. One of the best things I love about Fidelity is this third option, this third critical area, which is about innovation. You wouldn't normally think that Fidelity is an innovative firm, but let me tell you something a little different. We really are. Since the beginning of our firm, this commitment we have had has been from the founder of our firm when it comes to always finding new ways, striving new and opportunistic ways for us to deliver better experiences for our clients. Because of our scale, we're able to do this faster and more effectively than some of our competitors. We really are a digitally led firm. We have been recognized by Barron's, Corporate Insights, a number of different firms, even recently, for our leadership and innovation. We pride ourselves on being first to market. My example to you is that since the 1970s, we've been #1 to market 18 times. Some of these things may be splashy, some not, around Apple TV, but also just giving our own clients the opportunity to do things and have access to their products and services digitally that other firms hadn't done yet. That to me is an example where that privately held moment comes to life, is that we're investing millions and millions of dollars back into our business, even in times of trouble, financial crisis, today, tomorrow, in making our experiences better. Why do we do that? That's number 4. This commitment we have to our clients is relentless. It is a perfect word, that what we do is focus on keeping the client at the center of what we do. We are consistently striving to make sure that everything we iterate in this industry and the way we deliver an experience is rooted on the client. Everywhere across Fidelity is committed to 5 key commitments around the client. Some of these things may sound very simple, but the fact that we have thousands of employees across the globe committed to being warm and approachable, eliminate feeling sold to, really leading with planning and not being jargony in financial investment terms, being useful of clients' time, not wasting it. And most importantly, being really rooted in knowing and understanding who our clients are. This belief that we have across the firm really focuses us on staying center around what the clients need. And it allows us, when it comes to working with people like yourselves, that we have to do this by having the best of the best, diverse set of people that work here. Every one of our clients wants to work with people who have different ways of thinking and different experiences. And that leads me to our greatest asset, which is our people. I love the fact that this firm really has 4 critical areas that makes Fidelity a career, not a job. Let me share you a little bit of information about those really 4 areas that mean something to me. One is our training. I've been here for almost 20 years and in a number of different roles, which I will share with you, but you will not fail due to lack of training or onboarding here at Fidelity. The training and support we have is national, it's regional, it's local, every aspect, it's virtual, as you can see today. Everything we have is rooted in providing our associates the training and support they need to learn and thrive in their jobs. The second is that support. We have extensive support that allows you access to not only trainers, but also specialists that allow you and support you to do what you do best. What more can we ask for but to have a way for you and support for you to engage clients and really have an enjoyable, wonderful experience in your role because you have the support you have to focus on implementing financial plans. Third is the compensation. We pride ourselves in having a very comprehensive benefits package, compensation package that focuses specifically on being competitive and focusing on doing the right thing for our clients, which is delivering financial plans and helping more people and recognizing our associates for doing good work. The reason that means so much to me is that leads into the last area, which is a career. When it comes to our people, most of the people that work here have been here for many, many years. On average, our vice president financial consultants have been here for over 12 years. We encourage growth. We encourage advancement. We want people to work here and work here in the best way for them and their families and be able to do that and create a way that feels like you can be here for a lifetime, a Fidelity lifer, if you will. And people like myself, Dominic, others on the call have done this in many different ways. It is not typical just following up a specific career ladder. Fidelity really focuses on what's important to you and your family and finding the right way for you. So I'm going to pause. I know I'm saying a lot, but we got a lot to cover. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into who Fidelity is as a firm. If I wanted to take it a little bit deeper, a little bit more personal, what I would do is share with you a little bit about my journey. As I mentioned, I've been here for almost 20 years. But when I thought about this call, when I thought about speaking with you guys and sharing a little bit about why I'm here, why did I come here 20 years ago? I really thought back that it may be applicable for what you're thinking about today, which is, I was undergrad, went to school in Vermont, and I was interviewing at large brokerage firms. I was interviewing at local RIAs. And I'll be honest, as a female 20 years ago, some of those experiences did not go well. It was not something that was very welcoming at most of the firms that I went to. The culture didn't feel good. And what I mean by that is it felt like I would be out on my own. I would have to do things that may not be right for clients or the people that I work with. And I was really disheartened that it wasn't something that I thought would be the place that I could add value and that I could feel really good about adding some goodness to this world. What I found was actually at a family friend who her dad and my dad worked together, and she'd worked at Fidelity for a few years. And she said, well, Mary, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? I was like, I'm trying to actually help people with their financial plans. I grew up in a military family. I was an Army brat. I lived all over the world. And I really understood the value of just doing good for others and helping people to achieve what they're trying to do for their family. She said, well, have you thought about coming to Fidelity? And I was like, what? Where is that? And long story short, I interviewed at Fidelity, one of our regional centers in New Hampshire, and I didn't know what was going to happen, and I wasn't sure about this firm. I did my own research, but what I found was I got a glimpse into what I can tell you is still true today, 20 years later, is the culture. That what I've shared with you about who Fidelity is, the core beliefs about doing the right thing for clients, really giving back to clients and each other, the teamwork, that was evident from day one. And over my next 20 years, I started at Fidelity right after school. I worked in our regional centers for a couple of years. I got my licenses. I learned about our products, our services. I learned about financial planning. I got the opportunity to continue to grow and to advance, as I mentioned to you, that Fidelity encourages. And I worked at one of our local investor centers in Boston. And I ended up working at a couple of the different investor centers in Boston in a number of different roles that I'll share with you in a few minutes that we have here in the investor centers. Over that time period, this next 4 or 5 years, I had the great privilege of working with a number of people that to this day are still my coaches and mentors. Dominic is one of them, that helped me to really hone in on what I wanted to do in my life and how I could grow and do that at Fidelity. I had the opportunity to continue to pivot at Fidelity and work for Fidelity nationally in Boston. So I moved from the investor centers to working and helping with Fidelity at a national level on some strategy, working on things around improving our client experience, our overall service models to our clients, deploying the different products and services such as brokerage, fixed income. I also worked on our workplace side of Fidelity. So people that have 401ks and 403bs and non-qualified plans, got the opportunity to take some skills and have a different angle on how to help our clients when it comes to financial planning. About 2013, 2014, I got the opportunity to come back, and I really thought about what does that mean? Where do I want to go next in my career? And that really had to do with a lot of mentorship and support from my coaches and people who cared about me in my career, from where I wanted to actually make the biggest impact going into the next phase of my life. And that really had to do with managing. And I joke about it, forgive me, I joke about corrupting the next generation, because I thought about the people that helped me when I first came here, my family friend, my mentors and coaches. And I said, I think that's where I'm going to have the biggest opportunity to have an impact, is to help this next generation of people that could really do good and help our clients and help more people and do it even better than me. So I've been back in the management role for about 6 years. I was in the Boston area, and I've been here in the Albany area for the last almost 3 years coming on. I love it here in the upstate, and it is something that I'm very proud to work for this firm. And I've had a great opportunity across the years to grow from different angles of working at Fidelity. And I'm so pleased to have the opportunity to share that with you, because who Fidelity is, who we are, is something that is very meaningful to me as a person, but it is truly, and I am biased, one of the best places to work. And I can say that that is most often true for everyone that I've worked with. And no firm is perfect, but this firm really does stay rooted in what's focused on the client, what's best for the associate, and then what's moving forward and then best for all of us going forward, and how do we grow. So I'm going to open it up. So Dom, if you're on, I'd love for you to take a couple of minutes and share a little bit about your story.
Hey everyone, thanks Mary. I'm sorry for the lighting issues. I don't know, I kind of go into the shadows periodically, so I'll make sure I try figuring that out. But I've worked with the firm, as Mary said, for over 18 years. And I think you'll see that pretty common at Fidelity, that when people find a home here, you tend not to want to go anywhere else. And we're really looking forward to just sharing more on the why, so that you all can understand that. I've worked as an advisor. I really grew up with the firm, and I really saw the impact people made personally and professionally on giving back and helping me be better on the client experience side. So I went into leadership of overseeing several different offices in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and now in Framingham, but I helped oversee Mary and Albany as well. And we're just really excited to have a conversation with you today. After our conversation, I'd love to also partner with anyone on LinkedIn. If you want to talk to hear more, we have a ton of passion on how we differentiate. So feel free to also connect with me that way too. And Mary, I'll turn it back over to you so we can get to a lot of the Q&A.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'll take a few minutes here. I'll flip over to give you a little bit of color around the Fidelity Advantage. So we've just talked about a little bit of who Fidelity is, who we are. So Callie, if you would switch to the next slide for me. When we think about that our firm has been around since the 1940s, and thinking about what is the actual advantage of working at Fidelity, being at Fidelity, there's really 3 critical areas. And those critical areas are really wrapped around what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do for our clients and for each other is enabling long-term success for you and our clients, and by offering an unparalleled opportunities powered by this Fidelity Advantage. Let me tell you a little bit about it. What does this all mean? So when I think about that, these 3 critical areas are: one is our business model. The business model itself is grounded in existing clients with institutional feeders. So what does that mean to you? Our model and who we are allow me to be able to provide our advisors with existing households of clients, 400 to 500 on average, up to 500,000 or more in assets already at Fidelity. We are a huge firm that literally we have 1 in 4 Americans that has some sort of Fidelity account. This business model, this advantage that we have, builds on the fact that we are aligned uniquely. We are aligned and we have simply more opportunity than anyone else out there. What we have allows us to take advantage of. There's so many levels of types of clients out there. You guys know these things. There's retirees, there's pre-retirees, there's women, there's millennials. What we have with our alignment allows us to take advantage of how do we use our scale and bring that to life. What's a couple of examples for you? Couple of examples. So pre-retirees, there's 10,000 pre-retirees and then into the retirees, the boomers are retiring every day. Almost 80% of them say they don't have a plan. Women investors, there's $22 trillion that is going to be transitioning by this year. Like, it's coming. 41% of them said they wish they'd saved more. So our alignment allows us to take advantage of that. And it allows anyone who works here to be able to build from that scale and bring it to life for clients every day. Why is that important? That's the third piece. Our stability as a firm allows you, anyone who works here, to do what you do best. Build deep relationships with clients around comprehensive financial planning. It wouldn't matter if we have a great business model and we're aligned opportunely if we don't have a stable firm from which you can build a long career. As I mentioned, there's a number of people that are at our long-term Fidelity lifers, been here over 12 years. This is something that, for me, it's not a career. Excuse me, it's not a job. It's a career. This is why people like myself and Dominic and others have been here for such a long time. If I transition to the next slide, so what is this advantage? What does this do for our clients and for you? So bringing these critical components to life, what this does, Callie, if you switch to the next slide for me, is around how this leads into our products and our services. It is unmatched. Because of our focus and our ability as a private firm to invest back and be innovative and leverage our Fidelity Advantage, this has led us to have this breadth and depth of our product and offering. Anything our clients may need, anything they may want, we most likely have on our platform. What's an example for you? If you're just thinking as a human, you have someone who started at a local company. They started investing for retirement in their 401k. They're saving. How are they doing that? They can do that through Fidelity. What does the investments look like? They can get help from Fidelity on how to invest it. As they grow older, they start to transition. They start to need to transition that money from accumulation into taking it out. How do they protect it? How do they pass on to a loved one? We can help with that. What we do here helps from the beginning of someone's career, their life and their family, all the way to when they need to transition it. The fact that we have the ability to work with people throughout their lifetime is something I'm very, very proud of. What does that mean day to day? So if you transition it to the next slide, Callie, you've heard a little bit about us being privately held. You've heard about, what that culture feels like from me and Dom. What does that feel like day to day? How does that look? What does that feel like to each of us? I'll give you some words around what I've heard from my team over the years. It is feeling like you're part of a family, that we're working as a team. We collaborate. We collaborate because people that work here come from all different types of backgrounds, different experiences, different thought processes, different perspectives, because that's what our clients need. Our goal, we're rooted in staying focused on delivering a world-class experience. It's got to be personal. It's got to be real. It's got to be human. And our client commitments that I shared with you a few minutes ago, that welcoming, focused, staying really true to not wasting people's time and really focusing in on what we can do to help, that's critical. what we've learned over my 20 years, what we've gotten to continue to get better at is how we do that. We hire the right people, but we also want to create an environment that allows for flexible work. Continue to invest in technology for our associates as well. Me as a manager, I'm tasked, as is Dom, that we work with each individual on how do we empower them to work with Fidelity in a way that is best for them. A couple of examples for you, and I'm trying to keep going, I promise, is I have a couple of people in this office, one of which recently married, bought a home, renovating it, works from home now 2 days a week or works remotely, still does complex planning because he has the support, the technology to be able to do that, and can go hammer some nails in the middle of the day. I have another associate who is, newly married, literally expecting her first child, but about to take her certified financial planner exam. She works from home as needed or remotely. And literally they tell me this gives them the freedom to be able to live their lives with their family and happier because they work at Fidelity that supports them to do it in a way that lets them be them and be there for their family. Moving on to the next slide, I want to share with you a little bit more about what does this look like? So you've learned about Fidelity, a little bit about our journey. You learned about some of our products and services that are available to our clients and to our associates. But there's many different ways that you can build your career here at Fidelity. We have a lot of different ways that you can start big in a big way as a financial representative and get supported to get your licenses, learn about the products and services, continue to develop and accelerate your career around being from a financial representative to a relationship manager that's helping to develop and build relationships and being proactive, all the way to really deepening what we do here around wealth management and being a financial consultant, having those steady clients that we can provide that allow you to build comprehensive plans, and then even deepen that when it comes to being a wealth planner and having more complex family-oriented conversations that really get to the root of why people are here and what they need, which is focusing on their own legacies, their own, hopefully freedom from worry and taking care of their loved ones. And that is all supported by our roles as managers. We also have regional planning consultants, that there's ample training and support, as I mentioned earlier, that no matter your role, no matter what you do, you're going to have the support. You will not fail due to lack of having support and training here at Fidelity. All of this is because where we're rooted is your career is building your skills so that you're delivering world-class experiences for our clients. If we're not doing that, we're not hiring the best people to do that, then we need to continue to work on it, because that's something that has been the root of what we do here at Fidelity very successfully. All right, I'm going to push it forward one more slide and share with you a little bit more, and then I'm going to open it up. I'm very biased when I think about benefits. You have heard a lot of really great things about Fidelity, but one of the best parts about working at Fidelity is the benefits. Besides a great culture, feeling really great about what we do when we help our clients and helping clients, it is unmatched, the comprehensive program that we have here. I'm going to just share with you a couple things that hit home for me. One is around just saving for retirement. As I mentioned, I'm a big fan of trying to help people with what they're trying to achieve in their lives, and having profit sharing up to 10% of eligible play, company match 7%. Something that hit home personally for a number of people here in Albany was around the paid time off and family leave, so that they have the support of the firm to be where they need to be with their family. And also education, that Fidelity's put in over $38 million when it comes to student loans and supporting people. That's amazing. So I love every day that I hear from our team that it's not just having great comprehensive pay, it's also the benefits that mean a lot, not just to them, but their families, to their spouses, to their kids. And that's something that we've continued to evolve over the years. And for me, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So I'm happy to open it up in a few minutes here, or Callie or Dom, if you want to chime in, that we have some great opportunities here in Albany. And I know I went through a lot, but I really wanted to make sure to share with you some insights about Fidelity, a little bit about me and my journey and Dom's, as well as just kind of the day in the life here in Albany.
Hey, Mary, if I can, just a quick way that I think about it, just to summarize as well. at Fidelity, we believe work is what you do, it's not where you go. And I think to Mary's point, you are trusted and you're empowered. We believe in that. You know, we want you to know that you can challenge us. We challenge you. We're in this together, and it's all about serving the clients. And to the different roles that you saw there, there was a statistic about just how a lot of folks have progressed through the system, whether you want to be a tenured advisor, you want to go down a leadership path. Everything's meritocracy. It's objective. It's meritocracy. It's not about who's been here longer or, you know, who knows this person or that person. And there's a formula where it's very clear what I need to do to make sure I keep progressing. And then lastly on this side is I do think there is something to be said to Mary's point about the benefits of think about a company that says every year we're putting 17% of your compensation into a retirement account for you. And you think about that starting to add up of, you know, this is the place where you want to work and have a career on. Well, every year, 17% is dumped into a retirement account for you. So just a quick synopsis, Mary, for me.
Thank you, Don. So I believe the next slide is just open it up for Q&A. So I don't know if I'll turn it back over to David to just facilitate it. And I think I saw some of the chats coming in, but love to just hear if there's any thoughts or questions out there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mary. And great job, Dom. Appreciate you all. You can definitely tell the passion you guys have about Fidelity. It's certainly infectious. We have a lot of questions here. I'm going to kind of multitask here. I want to go ahead. We kind of launched the poll here. I'm going to relaunch the first poll because we did that before a lot of people were joining here real quick. So let's go ahead and relaunch this. So would love for you all to please take your time, but answer the questions right here on the poll. And then while we're taking a poll, I'm also going to open up some questions here real quick. And the first question, which is a good one, is what are the current openings that you have right now in Albany?
I'm happy to take that one, Dave. So we actually have two openings here in Albany. So one, we have an opening for a financial representative, which is a role that, you know, it's the beginning of your career. So, you know, being the face of Fidelity, really learning about the client experience, where we help people that are either licensed or if they need licensing. I'm happy to talk with people about the support that's available, as well as you learn about the products and services at Fidelity, which both Dom and I have been in that role and have great love for it. We also have a financial consultant role open. So this would be a role that someone would be able to come to Fidelity and to start building a book, or we would provide that with you to work with clients here locally around developing and implementing financial plans.
Very good. That's great. Can you
and hey, David?
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt. You know, I think just to speak about, though, if other people have other geographic locations or you know, hey, you're moving somewhere, just to let you know on our side. So the firm has really said, like, us being able to make sure we're communicating and helping our clients, we believe there is no better place for a client to go. And this is an area, like, we're doubling the size of our footprint. So we have over 2,000 associates now. We're going to be looking at over 4,000 in the next 5 years. So the future hiring, this is going to be a constant process. I even think about, you know, Saratoga Springs, Utica, other parts of, like, hey, we also want to make sure we're expanding our footprint and helping as many clients as possible there, even, you know, much more so across the entire country. So if you have some other, you know, requests, we're happy to make sure we can put you in touch with some people at Fidelity too.
That's great. Thanks so much. And yeah, we do have some folks joining us from other areas as well as the Albany area. So a lot of this is going to be applicable to any of the planning offices nationwide. Here's a good question we get every webinar with Fidelity. Okay, you probably know what's coming here. We've heard this one. Somebody coming from a traditional broker dealer, maybe a wirehouse or a regional BD. Can you talk a little bit about how the advisors are comped there at Fidelity versus maybe you know, what's traditional in the industry of a commission-based role? Yeah,
absolutely. And certainly, Dom, feel free to add color here. And that, you know, I think it's one of the things that our advisors as well as our firm are most proud of, and that the majority of how people are paid is salary. You know, that is one of the number one things that I hear from people that come to this firm is just like, wait, what? So we absolutely base what people are making their money on is actually a salary, as well as a variety of bonus and incentive programs that are very focused on delivering comprehensive plans for our clients, as well as developing their loyalty and relationship here at Fidelity. So we really want to make sure that our advisors have long-term career opportunities that they're paid very well on and they're recognized for when it comes to not just delivering client experiences, but also the plans and implementing them for clients. So we want to make sure that they're, and I can certainly go into more detail, but I want to be cognizant of the other questions. I'm happy to talk to any one of you about any of the specific details offline. I'm happy to connect with anyone, as Dom said, on LinkedIn and talk more about it. But I would say the number one thing that I hear from people that have worked at other firms or at RIAs is that they have a stability factor to how they are paid, and that what they're paid to do is to deliver plans, and that Fidelity pays them based on doing that and doing that very well, and that high performing associates get even more opportunities to get paid additionally and are recognized for their efforts. Dom, certainly chime in if there's anything that you would add.
Yeah. Just a quick summary for me would be time and complexity of sale. So, and that's something that, FINRA, our regulatory bodies, have looked at and held us up saying that's where they want more of the industry to go to. So if I am having a conversation with someone about a CD, well, that's not going to be an extensive amount of time. If I'm talking to someone about an irrevocable life insurance trust, that's more complex, more time, and that's where we transparently put that out there on our website and other areas. We're going to make sure we're rewarding an associate more because they're having those more in-depth conversations. And we do that at the same time where the solution products that you're looking at, it's all designed to understand the customer, and then how do you fill them in to fit the client needs. So for example, I think about variable annuities are an area that's an extremely dirty part of the industry. The average mortality and expense fee is 1.4. At Fidelity, you buy a variable annuity for 0.25. So that's about if you have $1 million, it's 0.1. So you really are buying it for tax deferral. You're not buying this to pay the advisor and the insurance company. So it's truly do what's right for the customer and feel really good that you get rewarded for time and complexity based upon how that planning conversation went.
Very good. Thank you so much. I think that that's a very good answer there. Get this question a lot. And you touched upon it earlier, Mary, but maybe can expand upon it a little bit. How are the branches structured? Like, kind of the different roles of advisor there within the branches. I know we have the financial representatives, but I guess if you could explain that and perhaps a little bit on what types of clients that they would deal with at each respective role, and also for those out there, maybe the tenure of experience you're looking for each of those roles.
Sure, I'll try to hit it pretty quick, but I'm happy to dive into any of the specific roles if needed. So financial representative is people at the start of their career. So these are people that are acting as the face of Fidelity. They're working closely with the manager to learn opportunities or identify opportunities for our clients. Their level of knowledge around the financial markets may be brand new, or they have some experience. They may have licensing, or they may need it. So they're dealing with people that are calling or walking into our branch. They're not delivering investment plans at that point. They're learning. It's a great role that people are in for probably 1 to 2 years. And this does vary based on the individual experience level. Then you have a relationship manager. These are people that are helping to manage. They're partnering with financial consultants and vice president financial consultants to deepen existing client relationships. These are people that are proactively engaging our clients with complex needs. And these are people that need to have, on point client experience and client management skills and experience for this role. And then they learn and develop a mastery of our products and services. The investment consultants, or getting into kind of the advisor roles, these are people that are starting out their investment career. They are really looking forward to developing their skills and understanding a wide range of our products and services. They are typically dealing with people who have less than $250,000. They're doing sometimes kind of point in time, one-time guidance for those people, providing with the support of Fidelity, our product and services the knowledge of what these clients need based on their overall family and what they've told us is, as Dom said, time and complexity of what they need. And they're following up with those people to make sure that the financial planning experience they're having is allowing them to take advantage of all the wide range at Fidelity. But they don't have a typical ongoing relationship with clients. The financial consultant role, that's where we get into, as I mentioned earlier, people that would have a distinct set of clients. Typically it's 300 to 400 households between 250,000 up to about $1 million. They're basically a single point of contact for any investment guidance, complex financial planning, and they're growing these clients, their relationships. Again, the way we pay people is we want them to go deeper and to be able to develop those clients and turning those clients and getting referrals, bringing people to Fidelity because we believe people are meaningfully better off if they're here at Fidelity. The next couple of roles are where we get into more longer term people, more complex conversations around difficult decisions in their lives. So we have the wealth planner, where people have a lower set of or less number of clients going deeper across varied goals and really being able to spend time with families and going beyond just investment planning, but going into the wide variety of family goals that they may have and making sure that we're guiding them along the way to achieve those goals. Along that same line, here in the branch is the vice president financial consultant. So these are our experts. These are people that have been in this role for 10 to 15 years. They've been doing this a long time. The majority of these are certified financial planners. These are people that are working with clients that have over $1 million and again, 300 to 400 households, going deep and managing what that experience, and hopefully they're the primary person for these families, and they're doing that for a lifetime. So I'm going to pause. I just covered a lot of roles, but David, let me know if I need to lean into any particular one.
No, I think that was perfect. That's great. And again, if anybody has any questions or would like a deeper dive into some specifics, having a conversation with Mary would be perfect. I see that Fidelity's won lots of awards all the time for best places to work and all of that, constantly winning those. Can you talk a little bit about the work-life balance that you all promote? And then another question, but I'm going to combine them together here, is, what's it like for female financial advisors to work for Fidelity as well?
Yeah, and I'll be candid with you guys. This is one that I am so proud to say we have evolved. We have evolved over the last probably 5 to 10 years, light years above anything that I have really heard anybody else does. And that is the word that I would share with you is empowered. That the way that we do business today, and it should be true across the world, but it's not, but in Fidelity, the way we do business today is not the way it was done 20 years ago. That it is not 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, sitting at a mahogany desk and, cold calling people. Fidelity never cold called people, so I'm glad to say that. But it's literally, we have evolved to where work-life balance, it's, as Dom said, it's not about coming in and typically doing just a job, that it's about your life, and that how you live your life is through the work that you do. So we provide the support that there is no gotchas here, whether people are here at 8 o'clock in the morning or they're here at 8 o'clock at night, or they need to step out for a soccer game, they need to go to a doctor's appointment. Like, my role as a manager is to support people to be able to do what we need them to do best for our clients in whatever way they need. So if you ask me what a typical work-life balance is, I don't have one for you. It's based on what each person has told me they need. They need to work at a certain time or work a certain way. Fidelity has provided the technology, the manager support, the structure, even up to our senior leaders like Dom and beyond, to really make sure the way people do their job is as convenient and as supportive as they need it to be. Because at the end of the day, it's about the client. So we need to adjust. We need to be able to go to our clients where they need us, reach them, go to them, be there for them in whatever way they need. And most of us as employees are also clients. So we have kind of brought that together, and that as whether you're a woman, whether you're a younger generation, an older generation, everybody has different needs. So I'm proud to tell you that Fidelity is not perfect, but we have come a great way. And I do believe it's far beyond most of our competitors to allow what we do here to feel really good and you be where you need to be for your family. And to be honest, that kind of inspires the people that work here to want to be there for our clients because they really feel proud of what they do and they can do it in a way that works for them. So hopefully that answers both questions as best I can, David.
That was great. No, that's very thorough. And again, I can feel the passion.
Hey, David.
Yes.
Hey, David, one thing about that, I think this does also speak to just our firm and the heritage of it. So, the owner of our firm now is Abby Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
The leader for us is Kathy Murphy. So 2 of the top 100 most powerful women in the world that work at Fidelity are leading us, challenging us from a cultural standpoint. And I would go back to what Mary said, that if the environment here is not one that's empowerment and it's people feel trusted, that they don't have to run decisions through their manager, but that it comes from take care of the client and you are trusted, then the client's going to feel that. And so we're really sensitive on that. And I would just encourage everyone, test it out, challenge us, hear for yourself, ask tough questions, and let's talk it through because we want to make sure this is the right fit for anyone that's considering joining us and vice versa. We want to make sure, obviously, that's the right fit for you too.
That's great. That's very good. Had a question just come in from our LinkedIn. We're live streaming this over to LinkedIn. So hello, everybody on LinkedIn and YouTube Live. Question, do you recruit from local colleges? This person here is from SUNY Albany and wanted to know how would somebody kind of maybe coming right out of college get in touch with Fidelity?
Absolutely. I actually have at least one SUNY grad here, was a decathlete at SUNY a few years ago. We also have one of the consultants is from RPI. We have people from a number of the local colleges here. I am a huge fan of the local schools here because there is a level of quality that is unmatched. So I am most happy to talk to anyone that works where it comes from any of the local schools. And to be honest, you don't even need to talk to me. I'll have you talk to some of the alum and get their perspective on why they came here versus going somewhere else. And to me, there's no better testament I can give than to say that hopefully the school that you're proud of, the education you're proud of, those people are working here.
That's great. Thanks, Mary. And yeah, and again, just to reiterate, there's experienced roles at Fidelity that do require the FINRA licenses and years of experience, but Fidelity is one of the biggest training grounds for the industry as well, and hire people from a multitude of backgrounds as well as straight out of college in certain circumstances. So that's great. Thanks so much. And another question here, and I probably know the answer to this, but you have a person here looking for more of an IT type role at Fidelity or something other than an advisory role. We're going to get to that in a second on where they can go, but there are a multitude of jobs within Fidelity that are not just advisors, but that support the whole effort there. And we're going to include a link actually in an email that we'll send out afterwards that has a link where you can go search all jobs at Fidelity. I think that's kind of all the questions we have at the moment. Do you have any closing thoughts here that you guys would like to share before we let everybody get back to their day?
Sure, I'll be brief, and then I want to reiterate where we started and just say thank you. And that this area in upstate New York, I kind of joked about it that a lot of people I talk to think that it's Fidelis Healthcare. That understanding the value of who Fidelity Investments is, the fact you took some time out of your life to do that and to ask some really, really meaty questions was much appreciated. And hopefully you feel the power of how much support Fidelity has put behind this type of an event and the support that we have for wanting people like you to be involved in who we are in our future. Because at the end of the day, like Fidelity is about the people. We want to hire the best of the best because we truly believe as a firm and have since the 1940s, that we need to be having the right people, diverse set of advisors that think differently, are really going after doing amazing things to help the local community to really understand what we can do to help bring better lives when it comes to financial dreams to people here locally. And that comes from people like you. Now, we don't have all the answers, but if nothing else, Dom tells me I stay focused on hiring good people. And that it means a lot that you guys took some time for us today to hear a little bit about who we are. I covered a lot, but I am most happy to talk to anyone. I've had a lot of roles here at Fidelity. I'm clearly biased, so just be aware, but I'm happy to talk to anyone about the roles or just informationally what we have here or about any of the roles we have open. But I really think that hopefully you get a little piqued interest in what we do here and would like to know a little bit more, because we'd love to talk to you about it.
Very good. Thank you very much. And thank you, Dominic, for your presentation as well. And thank you, Callie, for driving the slide deck for us all. Appreciate that. That's going to conclude today's webinar. I would like to let everybody know we will be sending an email out. It'll go out tomorrow with a link to the recording of this presentation on demand. You can watch it anytime, as well as a link to the Fidelity Jobs career page, where you can go search for jobs not only in Albany, but anywhere else across the Fidelity network. Again, keep an eye out for that. And that's going to conclude today's webinar. Sure, Dominic, go ahead.
Hey, if people got 30 seconds, this is when Mary gets mad at me, so you probably have to get used to it. I'd love just to put this out there too, just to get people just thinking. You know, Mary said a quote, there's $26 trillion in overall assets in the retail space, right? So if you want to be an advisor, Fidelity has a relationship with 70%, $21 trillion of that marketplace, right? That is where we're asking you that we're not going to make you call people in a phone book or just say, hey, who are your friends and families? We want you to take care of the people and help share our offering with people that have accounts with us. And on average, most of them have majority of the assets outside, 54 cents on the dollar. When they get to understand, they get to meet with someone, you take them through our planning process you have industry leading tools that give people a context for what to do next. You have investment products and solutions that are as sanitized as you can get in our industry, and you get to work with someone that gets to sit on the same side of the table as them and say, here's how I'm compensated. Personalization, transparency is what we believe in. We're not playing any games. Like, I would just also think about where's the future of the industry going? And I think that we have a really strong competitive edge, and we'd love to tell you that story. So, David, sorry about that.
No, I love it.
Sometimes just thinking about that a little more critically of this is where the business is headed. And if you want to be, I think, really great at what you do and help people, this is an unbelievable place to come and feel really good about what you see when you look in the mirror at the end of the day, too.
Yeah, I think a very impressive stat that was on a slide earlier was that 1 in 4 Americans have a Fidelity account. So that's, don't really have to expand upon that too much. That's pretty impressive. So certainly a good place to be. So that being said, thank you, everyone, and keep an eye out for the emails. We will be having another information session tomorrow, actually, for their colleagues down in the Providence, Rhode Island branch office as well. So I know they have a few openings down that way. And so, make sure to check that out if you have an interest in the Rhode Island area. And we appreciate your time today and hope everybody has a great rest of the week. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.